pretty much 100% of games. So now for Leyan, his options get a little bit more limited. Does he go for something carry-like? I feel like we're, also just seeing top esports get a bit of comfort here. As Jace actually, instead of the jungle, they're willing to let that go and let Leyan pick it up.
Okay, very interesting. Let's see, because I feel like Maokai Nico is not necessarily the strongest duo mid jungle in the world. Plus, it really does amp up things like Merc's value and all of that good stuff. So I feel like RA are still going to strive away from it. Look for something a little more wombo combo-y, right? Whether it be the Venn diagrams of death, as Ashin often puts it, with Wukong, or this Nocturne, which is a little bit more of a speciality pick for Leyan. You turn off the lights, then all of a sudden, the flanking potential becomes very, very potent and very scary. Xiaoxu's going to go towards this Nara again, so we know exactly what to expect out of that matchup. And top esports, I mean, they hovered over the Maokai. They have Jace mid. Is it ever going to be anything besides the Maokai?
Nah.
I fear not, to be real. And then it's going to be about the bans for phase 2.
What happened to Ivan? How come we walked away from... Ivan was like ban-worthy for a little bit, and now LPL just doesn't play it. Like, we haven't even looked at it. No one LCK...
Do you know what I think it is? Like, I feel like the games often can be a little bit too far on the faster pace side of things because it's the LPL. And whilst Ivern can definitely lend himself to that kind of style of play, I feel like you really have to have a draft catered around the Ivern to make that, kind of play style work on a consistent level at this level in the LPL.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why, because he can make bruisers exceptionally obnoxious with those with the seed shields, but realistically, I think when you see Ivern, it's more to buff up, ranged carries in pro play as opposed to actually emboldening and empowering those bruiser champions. As we moved to second phase, I do agree with you though. I want to see more Ivern, but I feel like teams don't really want to put the time into it when you can just lock in Maokai.
Yeah.
Support bans here for top esports. Lots of engage because RA are, of course, rocking this Nocturne comp, and they don't want to have to deal with, even more stacked up engage from the support side of things. I wouldn't be too surprised if top esports lock in JackeyLove's AD carry and then hold on to support 4-5 just because it can be so important
Take
to
away
not only
Rel,
have a strong
surely.
lane matchup. I mean, you can take away Rel, but I feel like if you're JackeyLove and Mark here, you want something like the Kai'Sa or something that can self-pill, right? Zaya also would have been the other strong option here. And then you just wait to see what Baolan picks, because then you can secure a strong lane matchup. But not only can you hopefully secure a strong lane matchup, you can maybe even double it up and have it be something that can really easily deal with this Nocturne or the Nico respectively.
Heimerdinger's incoming. It's going to be Ash Heimerdinger lane.
Ash Heimerdinger this time. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean,
100%.
this time around, Karma's up. So, I feel like even if they do go towards this Ash Heimerdinger, it would be, you'd still kind of, I don't want to say you'd be shooting yourself in the foot, but it would be a little bit difficult. Oh, okay.
Wow.
This is an interesting take. So, I feel like the reason why they take the Braum here is they want to take it away from top esports, because I think they recognize that Braum would be a pretty powerful pick here into like the dive and specifically the Nocturne and keeping him away. And it could make things awkward for top esports in terms of they probably want a melee support here, as opposed to running an enchanter, even if it is into this blind Braum. They end up on the Rel, so you still get your wish, Hysterics. Interesting take from RA though. We'll see how it works out. The 2v2 between Ash Braum is typically very, very powerful, right? All of the slows, the concussive blows often can be stacked up really easily as well. So trading should actually be something that JackeyLove and Mark find quite difficult, and actually the 3v3 even should be super weighted towards RA. Don't be surprised if you see a late invade even towards the bottom side and they just end up trying to split the map. That's also something that's very, very possible from RA's point of view. It just depends on how aggressive they want to be in the early game, and it's aggression that we need to see out of them, because after game one, they really just left it with limping legs and a tail between them too.
Yeah, nothing happened. I mean, it was just such a steady game for top esports. It was such a simple game for them. This time around, Jamada looks a little bit harder to execute, I guess. We still have a strong mid-jungle, right? We've still got a strong mid-jungle 2v2 that really got them going in game number 1. Bot lane's going to be fun, as you insinuated. JackeyLove back on the Kai'Sa here, his champion, and seeing the Rel from Mark as well. Let's just kind of see how it all piles together. Is going into game 2. TES versus RA continues with Baolan versus JackeyLove and Rookie. Just a side piece of history for you. JackeyLove going up against his former support that he won Worlds with, but it is no longer like the days when Baolan won Worlds. It is a completely different story, completely different level between TES and RA. It was a stomp in game 1, and for game number 2, is it just going to be people diff again? Team diff, player diff? Honestly, title contender diff, because TES are a top 4 team right now, and they're showing it up against RA, who are struggling to put up an argument for a potential playoff spot.
Absolutely agree, and you know what, on that point, I want to give a shout out to Mark for a moment, because even though he was rocking Rakan last game, he didn't use Baolan's skin, and I'm going to say that's a sign of respect.
All right.
To the storyline and the former world champions that he was sharing a lane with last game, and this game, of course. It's not like we've changed players between game 1 and game 2.
JackeyLove using his own, though, which is, I don't know, classy. I found out as, hey, you set the level 1 invade, by the way. It's a late invade, too.
It's really powerful. Ashe, permanent slow, Braum, concussive blow stacking, Leyan, lethal tempo, and also just like the Q as well. The Dusk Bringer on the floor gives you so much extra AD. It's really, really impossible to contest this invade. So I like it from the side of R8, just acknowledging the power of their 3v3, I beg your pardon, the 3v3 on the bottom side of the map. And they just denied top esports entry. So let's see how difficult and uncomfortable they can make this lane, because trading as well, 2v2 between Assum, Baolan, and JackeyLove and Mark. The range difference and just generally the fact that the slows into the stuns can come in will be really, really oppressive for JackeyLove and Mark. So the handling of the first couple of waves is going to be really crucial to how that lane actually plays out. So I'm glad the observers pan us down, because you can see like Assum is just spacing JackeyLove already. It's like 100 range difference or something ridiculous like that. He's even got the lethal tempo as well, just to kind of you know, exaggerate the difference here. Mark's going to get concussive blows up, and this is what I mean. It's so difficult to ever trade back. And JackeyLove and Mark have to just kind of take that foot back and kind of wait until they can get some kind of help from Tian or the rest of the map.
Already a nice start here from RA, I guess. Something to play towards as the map being split. Means that Tian is up in this top side, invading in his own right. Now, let's see if he plays towards Rookie or Wayward as Leyan goes back to his own side of the jungle. And we'll just do that clear himself as well. Top side scuttle will be going to Tian. Bot side for Leyan. So Jamada, map split as you predicted in the end. And of course, as you were also mentioning, means that Assum Baolan can just keep doing this aggressively into the turret as Mark is getting the worst end of it.
Yep, and it's going to remain like this until someone can break the pattern, really break the cycle. Because Assum and Baolan have complete agency over the wave, and it doesn't seem like they're ever going to give up this lane shove. So looks like we're just going to see shove into hit the tower a couple of times, into shove, and so on and so on and so on. We'll see how low they can get that tower. That is the expected play pattern for them. Like that from Strive. He tried to actually block the shock blast with his clone, but couldn't quite do it.
True.
In time. And like here, for example, this wave, how heavy will this trade be? I don't feel like it's going to be that bad, but JackeyLove actually finds a pretty good chunk into Assum, so all things considered, that's really good for this lane. But again, right, Tian should be cornered off for a really long time. He's going to go up to his Krugs after the skull, so he's not going to be down here for at least another minute. And as we can see as well, Leyan in the bottom side jungle could potentially make his way up to the Wolves, or just make his way down here to the bottom side of the map for a gank. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the case, because Assum, after eating that meaty trade, wanted that reset.
Yeah, it really did. Blocked by Baolan, so he could actually make it happen. So JackeyLove and Mark looking for a quick push here. While meanwhile, top side, Wayward's low on mana, but again, Kersante doesn't matter. As 15 mana for your Q is all you need. And Xiaoxu, again, just taking the rougher end of it, as Wayward's also had the shadowing of Tian for the first 4 minutes of this game. That now changes as spotted on top side. Leyan, great ward from TES to see that he is traversing into an enemy path.
Yep. Rookie's even going to put the ward down, but it doesn't actually quite spot him. So Wayward is still going to be a little on the cautious end. And as he backs up, if he shows, I'm pretty sure Xiaoxu saw him walk back into that bush, right? So,
yeah.
Or maybe he didn't, actually. So, Wayward is The man behind enemy lines, and he's re-attracted Leyan. This feels like Solid Snake in a cardboard box, no? Like, he's...
Yeah. I get what you mean, I know. Leyan just waiting it out, hey? And Wayward still not in a position to be caught out as Tian's just going to start the Raptor camp. Remember, he's up on TS because while Leyan apparently has been trying to find angles as he takes away a couple of the chickens, has been a little bit behind.
Yeah, popcorn chicken. Surprised Xiaoxu didn't try and chuck him into the wall there. Maybe just didn't feel like he had the ability to win the 1v1 if Wayward hit level 6 on that minion, and he definitely did, so maybe worried about the all-in potential after the fact.
Getting close towards 6 now. RA's top, mid. That's the 6 we want to see. Leyan level 4 though, Tian 5. It is a camp difference at the time being, so naturally Leyan going to be a bit behind as Rookie getting some good trades mid in the meanwhile. Slower early game pace here, but Jamada, we know it's Nocturne's first couple of ultis. We know how well it synergizes with this RA team. Like, think about the lockdown. Think about the all-in. If TS are caught, they are caught, and they should be dying. I'm kind of waiting for that while TS look for options down in this bottom lane and just continue trying to come out of these lanes with as much of a lead or as much of a evenality as they can.
Yeah. I think once we do see that level 6 come in, where Leyan shouldn't be too far away, right? The reason as well why we saw this kind of awkward CS gap between Leyan and Tian was just because Tian's camp spawned on the bottom side and he was able to retreat back down there after his first clear. Leyan didn't have that same privilege as Dragon. Is definitely being contested here. Wrong Nico, Tian, but that's alright. Strive has Ulma and Flash, and on Esports, if they funnel into that choke, Mark and JackeyLove, they will just get turned around on. They need to be kind of careful.
That is true, but I will say in the meantime, CS leader, rather top side now I need to focus on. Xiaoxu at half HP, not going to get flipped back. Wayward putting the threat down as both top laners won't be involved. They have no teleport. But Jamada, you know what I was saying before, is the poke from top esports. The little bits of brittle damage that came down onto RA was significant enough to make them stop the dragon at 2k and walk away.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that no dragon goes down here is definitely, I feel like, I don't know who it benefits more. I'd have to imagine RA. Having Paranoia up and available feels like a much bigger tool for them and their ability to actually, you know, force a fight, right? Whereas for top esports, they, even without their ultimate, still have the ability to kind of flash forward and look for those abilities and fights regardless. So I feel like for top, the fact that they started that one up and couldn't actually lock it in feels a little bit bad, but also considering how one-sided this bottom side matchup should theoretically be, the fact that they're even able to get into a position to start up in the first place is definitely a little bit of a miracle.
So, where are we at? We're just lolling about. We're chilling out. But it does feel like, you know, this is more of what TES want. Regardless of how RA started this game, we got the vertical jungling. That didn't lead to anything. CS is even now as Arrow. Oh, hot damn. Assum just showing that he can aim.
Yeah. Good job, Assum.
Stops back for Herald, to be fair. So any kind of tempo that maybe could have come from JackeyLove is slowed down.
There's a very similar thing happening here again, where Tian has the upgraded smite and Leyan doesn't. So if Tian wins, he's going to win the smite. So
and thank you. He got it. Paranoia also used. Guess what? He's just going to walk into it. I'm not sure Baolan can walk into this.
Strive,
the fake one. Pop Blossom comes in and it gets a 4-man, but the root is not enough, nor is the damage yet. Top esports are all in as it's Rookie to get first blood. Wayward. Oh, the failed flashes we've seen today. It hurts with a 2-for-1 trade in favor of RA, but it did cost the Herald.
Yeah, they did lose out on the Herald. Leyan, unfortunately, back-to-back games, by the time Herald spawns up, doesn't have the 900 damage smite. And, yeah, his team hates for it dearly, I suppose. Kills go over to Leyan himself, actually, and Xiaoxu, so we'll see how that impacts the side lane specifically. And that's also one thing that I really want us to track, Jake, is how RA actually decide to use this Gnar if it does start to get ahead in the 1v1 on the side lane. This smite, it's not even really a 50-50. It's pretty one-sided, and then Tian secures it. And Mark, let's see what this looks like from the perspective. Yeah, I'm glad the observers are showing this because it's moderately hidden for this part. Finds his way in. All 4 members get hit by the ultimate, 3 by the Tangle Barbs as well, so a lot of CC. Good stuff from Strive, not so much good stuff from the Flash on Wayward, but we'll see how much it matters in the end, because, again, you know, the champion, he's playing Cassante, he's eventually going to have, I believe the exact number is 4,700 HP.
Yep.
So, he's fine.
But at least Xiaoxu's got a little bit more in this game to work with on the Gnar. And side laning Gnars have been pretty devastating in the LPL before, so props there as Tian now drops a Herald towards mid. Rookie's going to get the shove here. Strive going to be threatened under turret too. He stayed. Magnet Storm as well. Look at the kinematics. And look at the cinematics of TES's. Under the dive with the arrow flying through. It gets dangerous as Leyan just autos. Tian's about to die. Rookie buffs him away, but with the Q. Oh, Mark, are you a hero? Not with Paranoia up and available as Leyan gets a second. Now the fear begins as double goes over. TS may have got the Herald down, but RA blindside them and blast them all to pieces.
Blindside is definitely the right way to put it. Short-sighted towards the end of it, and not really considering the longer-term effects of what the collapse could be from RA. And Leyan cleans house, right? 2 extra kills now for this Nocturne. Stridebreaker is going to be on the cards for the next reset, and he's going to be so powerful. So this is now, we're speaking about, like, how are they going to use the side lane threat potentially, right? As JackeyLove's going to eat a really meaty trade. If this Nocturne is super far ahead, you can't walk up on the side lanes. Even if you're this Cassante who's super tanky, it's just going to be too scary as, oh, wow.
That's a flash by Tian. I mean, he wants in. There's no ulti from the rail, but still the crush down's there. As JackeyLove flies in, Killer Instinct. It's a shutdown over to Tian as RA getting collapsed. Balan without any mana and Assum followed with a twisted advance. It's the all-out from Wayward as now under turret. Tian drops down as well. It's chaos, but TES getting a bit of a fire back here. As RA still shouldn't be too unhappy about that Jamada. They got Dragon, and Xiaoxu's just having the time of his life.
Yeah, I mean, it was at the end of the sequence of play for RA, right? Like, tempo in League of Legends is kind of like a pendulum. It swings back and forth between what team actually has the ability to make things happen. Top Esports had it with the Herald. They overstepped their bounds in this replay, right? Looking for Strive. They don't really kill him super quickly. Unfortunately, I think the fact that Rookie can't, like, you know, kind of leap to the skies in with the Q and immediately execute him just means that the response is the arrow actually ends up connecting. Tian is tanking tower. Mark is also low HP. It's just the circus in the mid lane. There's no other way to put it. And Leyan's the one who, I guess, is the janitor of the role in town. And yeah, Leyan gets Q flashed by Tian here to knock him back in. And I guess in the end, it works out here. But yeah, definitely does feel quite overforced. The shutdown also goes over to Tian, so not the best. I love the man marking here from Wayward, kind of just tracking where Assum can flash to, just to ensure that once the W comes in, he can always just EW behind him and then all out from underneath the tower. So nice little bit of movement reading there, and does secure them an extra kill on the back end.
What is Tian doing? Like, he died to throw a sapling. He literally died. The first time with the turret shot, he took 2 turret shots, and then he walked out, and then he walked back into range. Like, Tian is... oh my god.
Alright. So, do you remember at the start of this series, about, checks watch, an hour and 15 minutes ago, where we were talking about, hey, for Top Esports, this is going to be half a litmus test, right? Sure, RA, they're a 4-7 team, and Top Esports should swipe them aside. But sometimes their early games, they're a bit stinky. You know, they're not the best in the world. They are a little bit uncoordinated. This is one of those games. This is one of those moments. Now, granted, they are not so far behind that team fighting is going to be impossible. In fact, I actually kind of prefer Top Esports' ability to team fight as the all-out.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Now followed up with Tian. Xiaoxu should be dying here. Damage easy, but Paranoia flying in. Wayward didn't want to commit anything, and now he's going to die for it. Magnet Storm, never mind, keeps him alive. Mark is the saving grace this game, but Xiaoxu should be dead. Wayward was too scared to walk up, and the flash is burned defensively in the end.
Both top laners managing to limp away with a slither of HP. Wayward with far less than Xiaoxu, but still low numbers nonetheless, and I'm kind of surprised by both sides, right? I feel like Xiaoxu, the only reason why he's able to survive is that Wayward is kind of not willing to commit just in case he gets full comboed into the wall. And on the other end, Leyan does actually full commit, but just doesn't quite have the damage to finish off Wayward. So very unfortunate that no kills actually arise from both ends here. But what it will result in is probably this Herald going over, but it's not going to be a uncontested one for top esports. Strive, the whole crew actually from RA is here, and Xiaoxu's also making his way for a 5v5 too.
So let's just see this time for the Smite Stealers. Teleport's going to be burned here by TP from TES, rather, as Balan on one side. There's a Pop Blossom on another, but Drive is already dead. TES have numbers advantage in this small skirmish. RA, their willingness to fight this time doesn't work out as Rookie blasts him, and meanwhile, JackeyLove takes back over. Flies in, but Jamada, that was just horrible from RA. What are they doing?
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, I will say. I don't know why the full commitment came in after the fact. You get the Herald, get out. There's no need to fight. Like, you really are dependent on the paranoia to, you know, kind of make an awkward backline situation occur for top esports. And if it's not happening, then yeah, you can kind of see how confident and happy they are to step up, and they do just that. Everyone dives forward at one point or another. Now, top esports are almost 1,000 gold up. However, because we had that very late dragon, we're in a situation where 16 minutes, instead of it being the third dragon spawn, as it so often is, it's actually just the second. So, see how that impacts potentially side laning for Xiaoxu specifically, right? Because he's got the Triforce, he's going towards the Hull Breaker, it seems like.
50 CS up.
He is 50 CS up. But he's into Cassante. So, we'll see. But it's one of the few matchups on the side lane I have actually seen dismantle Cassante is this Hull Breaker now. So,
yeah, Arrow
we'll see how things go. Tian.
Paranoia, but they're grouping up. Nice here from TES, but Xiaoxu in Megana. Okay, playing towards their strengths here. Is that Paranoia now down? But Tian's ult in reverse going to come through. And look at the value as he flies in for the steal. Twisted advance in the middle as well. Pop Blossom on the defensive, but it doesn't hit key targets. This rookie flies, and JackeyLove likes to buy because he's going to have a shitload of gold after this. Excuse me, Jamada, don't swear in a cast. TES take out another, and RA blown to pieces by the two. By that steal as well, man. Just outclassed.
Don't worry about it. My French is nowhere as good as yours, Shake. So, top esports steal the dragon. They get the Herald down in the mid lane. I feel pretty damn good about this entire sequence of play, all things considered. And I mean, hey, for me, top esports wow, I wouldn't even say overextending, but almost overextending into that choke. It's one of those scary moments where when you're against very strong choke control tools like Ashbrom and Nico, you can kind of start to see the turn potential, but it's not really something that came to fruition here. We're all the way back at the Herald replay here, where, yeah, I don't know. RA just... It's one of those things, I feel like, in League of Legends where you really want to commit for an objective, right? As getting the T-Tor fly in for JackeyLove, and you just don't want to give it up. And this is one of those moments where, unfortunately, you have to know when to fold them, Jake. You have to know when to fold them.
Ah, the gambler, of course.
RA are they're the 5%. You know, they're looking to make it big. Know the quote, and yeah, this is where I started to kind of worry, but fortunately for top esports, there's just not enough damage, right? Even though they're funneling into this choke here, and you can start to see some of that AoE damage ramp up, and concussive blows, ash slows, etc. Not really a fantasy.
Oh.
Well,
0 and 5.
Yeah, Strive is dreaming, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
hang on though. Hang on. Let's hold. Good flash.
Oh.
Match. Burning down. Tian here to save the day.
Oh,
Mark behind as well.
no.
Look at him. Hex flash, and over he goes. JackeyLove looking to poke out, but will miss here with the help of that second skin. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, that was a kill that we missed in the replay. As TS are up 3,000 gold, and as they follow suit with teleport as well. They're not stopping. And Jamada, this is the thing we talked about today. Their early game can sometimes be sloppy. But TES, never a dull moment to try and push tempo. As this game, they're doing the same again.
Yeah, exactly right. So this is why top esports are such a weird team to read compared to the top of the table teams around them, right? Because you feel like if this was JDG, or if this is Billy, or BLG rather, and they did this in the first 15 minutes, BLG and JDG probably come close to kind of just turning it into a bit of a one-sided affair, right? So
yeah.
Still something that they have to be a little bit wary of as oh. Well, Xiaoxu's in Narnia all of a sudden. That's just crazy how that just happens to a person. You know, he's kind of still winning.
He is, but you know what? The rest of the teams here, it's not fair.
Yeah. The life of a top laner. You know, Xiaoxu's been winning out on the side lane all game long. Wayward's been showing up to the skirmishes and just picking up free kills left, right, and center. And even though Xiaoxu probably was going to solo kill Wayward there, it doesn't matter because Wayward has a team that likes to come towards him on the side lane, and Xiaoxu does not. So, sucks for him, but I feel like as we were angling, Top Esports are just taking control of this game now, as it feels like they can kind of go wherever they please. Item completions are in. I think, was that? I missaw for a moment. Obviously, we have the pop-up on the screen at the moment. I thought that JackeyLove had a Duskblade, but it's actually Rookie. Just caught me for a second. You know, I was like, wait, does JackeyLove have a... But yeah, no, going towards that Gwinsu's third, very, very common. Not quite hit that Q evolution yet. I think once he does finish up the Gwinsu's, he should just about have it. But he has the attack speed evolution and the AP evolution, and those are the important things before you dive in, realistically. So still very much everyone is on power curve right now. Even Tian, who has found himself on 2 items.
Yep, 4K. That's Top Esports gold lead right now. It's not as clean as game number 1, but it's just advanced that way. I mean, Rookie's had a powerhouse of it. JackeyLove on the Kaiser again's been fantastic. His second game, his first series playing it, but we know that this 2018 World Skin is so deserved on it as Leyan has the spell shield, but it's on 3 seconds of a cooldown every time as poke, more poke, flash away. The advance comes through, the Brom ulti, the Magnet Storm, the all-in, the paranoia. But Jamada, nothing from RA this game has been all-in with the Gnar, with the Nocturne ulti, with the Pop Blossom. It's not coordinated. And Top Esports keep tearing them apart with how easy it is to dissect RA this game.
Yeah, and the thing is, Top Esports gave RA a game study on teamfight and engage execution. It seems like they weren't really paying attention to how they dismantled the previous game either. And right now, Top Esports are just continuing that clinic, but just in a slightly different fashion. Baron will be secured as we hop into this replay, and I've got to feel a little bit bad for Leyan here because he just feels like this is going to get blocked by Baolan, but it's actually the left-hand side middle part of the branch that catches him, and then the middle one that catches Leyan. Very unfortunate for both parties, to be honest with you. Jungler dies Assum, so can't really do much.
Why is, like, I mean, the thing is, Jamada, I know Xiaoxu's gone Hullbreaker, but this whole comp, we know, like, RA are built on their ultimates. Built on Gnar, built on Nocturne, built on Strive, on the Pop Blossom, right on Nico. Like, there's amazing pick potential, but also, more importantly, they never have numbers advantage. So in a full 5-on-5, maybe it would look better if there was a Gnar set up into the Pop Blossom or into the Paranoia from then. It's never come together this game, and when they've had numbers advantage, it's been great. But they're not like that because Top Esports are traveling as at least a 3-man group. That RA are now just resorting to trying to split push. But split pushing against a Kaiser and Jace, you get out sieged so easily that the Gnar is probably going to be trading, if not going down on turrets at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's a little bit too slow of a push, and like you mentioned, Jace will just come up here, clear waves, and yeah, he's not really going to have much of a tough time here with Xiaoxu, so it's like the option of split pushing is slowly going to dwindle for Xiaoxu unless RA can really put on a turtle performance of a lifetime and pretty much just ensure that Top Esports somehow don't manage to crack open the base. I mean, Baron's got 90 seconds left on it, and they are opening up onto the top side of the map, so they're actually just going to exactly where Xiaoxu was, undoing all of that work. The bot wave is also slow pushing out as well, so the reality is Xiaoxu isn't really going to make it to the bottom side of the map where Top Esports have no towers and it's just the base within the time that Top Esports could effectively end the game. So he has to come up here and match now. Paranoia.
Yeah, but defensive ult from Tian again. Poke from JackeyLove is flying through too, so they're not going to fully commit, but Megadar is now there. The other thing, Jamada, is play towards side lane of Xiaoxu, but again, RA, it's just never come together. It's never come together in this game, and I feel like RA's problem shown before, where Leyan can sometimes be on different pages to his team. Strive the same as well, with a bit of inexperience. As RA are now still that 5 group, and Xiaoxu's run out of the Mega Gnar. So TS play it through again and just push this inner, because they're free of a hard engage.
Seeing it so much recently where like a team will have a really, really strong top laner, like, or a top laner in a position of power, and they, oh, if that W hits, I actually think JackeyLove could go in and kill him. But they just don't end up playing towards their top lane, like, ever. And it's very, very peculiar. Like, and in this case, it's super easy. You literally just press your Archie as Leyan and just kill the target that's in front of Xiaoxu. Help lock him down, right? So it is one of those frustrating moments. Xiaoxu's in Mega Gnar again. There's another Ash Arrow. It's on Tian. They can maybe CC him down.
Attempting his flash.
Gnar ult, though.
But End's going to run out yet again. Tian, his ulti's about to come off cooldown once more as Baron has just flown away for the time being. So top esports getting about a 2 or 3k Baron power play by the end, but now still trying to push in with wave state pretty good across the rest of the map. TES just constantly hovering here, and this is what I hate about static shift Jamada. You get so much more pressure in the mid game. As now with the dive under turret, the poke continues to fly through, and TS, this is the power of their sieging comp. So easy as the ult comes through, Baolan trying to hold them in place, but it's onto Wayward. As Strive jumps in, Pop Blossom, it's a 3-man, but JackeyLove flash out of the back of it. He saw his killer instinct, gets him an exhaust in the end. He's up against Wolf Xiaoxu finally, but I won't, Jamada. I refuse to hold on because Wayward is into Mega Sante mode. As Mega Gnar won't hold a candle, it's a triple for Xiaoxu, but Wayward has been carrying on. Ladies and gentlemen, they still managed to take the fight with their core carries dead.
Yeah, Wayward's been listening to too much Kansas, I think.
Yeah.
R8. R8, it looked good. I thought they were cooking, man. I thought they were about to actually make it work, but it doesn't quite come into full fruition. I didn't quite catch what kept Xiaoxu out of actually following up on all of this engage, so that's what my eye is going to be on, because the Pop Blossom from Strive is great. We all saw that. The lights also got turned off. What stopped Xiaoxu here from following up on the engage? Is it Tian? It's Tian. So Tian knocks him back, then the gravity well as well.
Yeah.
So it just means that he can't really find a slightly better ultimate for a little while longer. Eventually, though, he does find, well, the 2 carries, actually, of top esports, so it's pretty good, but the rest of the fight was just being dismantled by top esports, unfortunately.
I just love watching Mark. Observer had to show us that Mark died in the video wave. Well, what else can you do? I mean, he's 18 out of 20 kill participation in this game. He still had a barn burner of it, alongside Tian, who died to turret shots earlier in the game, but has been so pivotal in these late game fights. As RA managed to defend Jamada, I guess that's the main point here. They managed to defend and keep top esports at bay. They hold on to inhibitors at 27 minutes in, but TES still have the map. They still have a 7k gold lead. And right now, still continuing to be close enough to each other that the paranoia is never really that much of a threat.
Yeah, exactly right. It feels like top esports to the bigger brother, and RA are the smaller brother, and he's just got his head on top of him, or his hand on top of his head. RA's trying to swing, and he just doesn't quite have the length yet. And they can continue to just play this dance, right? Dragon's up, Baron's up. They can kind of do either, however they feel. Strive is a minion.
That was disrespectful. Baolan, that was so disrespectful.
Oh,
you knew he was in there. Wayward jumping forward. Sam and Dean, unbeatable. I mean, they die a billion times, but they always come back. Wayward this time, it's only going to be the one, but picks up a kill. And Baolan dead. 4 versus 5. Jamada, it's Baron o'clock.
Yep. And the worst part about it is, even if RA do believe in God, they tend to like Sam and Dean a little bit more for the majority of the show. So
God's a dick anyway, if we go by supernatural rules.
If we go by supernatural rules, we are, yeah.
Kind of a weak plot point. If anyone got up to season, I think I got up to season 14. I can't remember finishing it.
No. People didn't like the ending. Supernatural. I thought it was the only way it could end. I'm not going to spoil that, I guess, for the three Supernatural fans out there.
Well, I always wanted to be as good looking as Dean. As I will hold on that thought because Mark's coming in, and it's because Dean wore denim jackets, which I now wear.
Right.
So we've started. I've always wanted the 1967 Chevy Impala.
Dude,
that is my dream car.
That car is badass. That
is so cool.
That
Good
car
dodge.
is really cool. Yeah, great dodge. Good job, Ricky.
But I've got it in my brain. 1967 Chevy Impala, sedan, 4-door black. I think it's like a V6. But yeah, One day I will get that car, and I will drive around playing Carry On My Wayward Son out the window, and there'll be one Supernatural fan in Sydney that'll be like, "Oh hell yeah!" and he can ride around with me, and I'll call him Sammy. That's it. I look forward to that day.
I feel like those Chevys are now like really expensive. I think now because of Supernatural, which I think is probably hilarious. But they're probably very rare cars now at this point too. But,
true. Or you can
America,
buy like the
find
body.
them
You know, people
Yeah.
get the mechanics of it. I'm not a car person, as people can probably tell. But people get the parts and obviously just put the body on it as okay, Tian ultis out. Nature's Grasp follow suit as Magnet Storm. Mark just locks down 3. Pop Blossom in defense, but look at JackeyLove and Rookie hitting the backside. Xiaoxu with a great ulti though. But Pop goes the Weasel. JackeyLove in for the killer instinct. And Rookie just takes apart his old teammate. These two world champions better than one as TES. It was a longer burn this time. But on his 2018 World Championship skin, once again, JackeyLove shows who does it best. Gala in recency, but the OG helps take TES to a 2-0 against RA.
remember who laid the road in front of you, Gala. On the Kaiser plays. And before it was you, it was JackeyLove.